Let the critique begin.
Popeye is one of the most recognizable cartoon characters of all time, and in 1980, a live-action adaptation was made starring Robin Williams as the sailor who's strong to the finish because he eats his spinach. He even does a good impression of the voice. Popeye sails to the town of Sweet Haven in search of his long-lost father who deserted him as a baby. While there, Popeye meets and falls in love with Olive Oyl, played by Shelley Duvall, who was already engaged to Bluto, played by Paul L. Smith. Popeye then discovers an abandoned baby and raises her as his own, naming her Sweet Pea. Before you know it, Bluto snatches Olive Oyl and the child, forcing Popeye to take matters into his own hands. I guess you could say this is like some sort of origin story for Popeye, how he, Olive Oyl, and Bluto met, and how Popeye and Bluto have developed a grudge against each other and are always competing for the love of Olive Oyl. This is not the first feature film based on a cartoon character, but it's one of the first done in live action. It was almost like the type of Popeye for the big kids. It was rated PG, has some cussing, but that's about it. The violence is comical and it feels like watching an animated cartoon put into live action. Many PG-rated films from the 70s and early 80s would be considered PG-13 today, but personally, I feel that this is one of the few exceptions. Not only that, was it right for this film to be initially given the PG rating? What about The Secret of NIMH, which came out about 2 years later? How did that get a G rating? Oh, never mind, that was just in case you ever actually watched The Secret of NIMH. Like, who's ever seen that? Obviously the type of people at the MPAA that never seen Popeye. Is it a great film at least? Yes, it's very entertaining, and the musical numbers, yes there are musical numbers, are pretty good too. What made this film really interesting was that it was the first collaboration between Paramount Pictures and Walt Disney Productions. A year later, the two would make Dragon Slayer, which back in the day attracted much controversy due to the violence, adult themes, and brief nudity, because back in those days, having the Disney name on a product usually tells a regular consumer the product is safe for children. Films like that were part of the reason the Disney company established Touchstone Pictures. Anyways, I would watch Popeye anytime. It's hilarious and comical, just like the cartoon character, and having Robin Williams around makes it all worthwhile. It makes you wish he didn't hang himself so he could continue to admire us in new and spectacular ways.